Today we're going to be talking about 3 core principles which are really important if you want to live a productive and happy life. Some people can list 20, 50, even 100 life principles. There are too many. How do you even remember all of them? I want to focus on just 3. But let me warn you, they may sound a bit cheesy at first, but I promise you they're not like those vague, ethereal, new age concepts that sound vaguely right, but they are very difficult to implement in your daily life. These may look like them at the beginning, but as soon as you start thinking about them, you will immediately see how easily you can implement them in your life. But yeah, they do sound a bit cheesy. The first principle is that done is better than perfect. The first principle is really key to fighting back that terrible feeling that whatever you do will never be at the right level. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the imposter syndrome, all of these fears only have one consequence, and that is that you never start a new project, and even if you do, you never complete it. And in the end, you never experience the satisfaction of seeing the results of your ideas and the final product of your efforts, let alone showing it to others and taking pride in it. Plus, you'll have an ever-growing to-do list full of ideas, projects, and tasks that you will never cross off. And how can you feel productive if nothing of value gets completed on your to-do list? This thing has happened to me on many occasions, even if I have plenty of proof that when I start doing something, my results are usually very good. I always struggle to shake off that fear. One day, though, I simply decided that completing things at whatever level was better than not starting them. And I now truly believe that in many things in life, done is better than perfect. This YouTube channel and even this video is the result of me embracing this principle. I put it off for a very long time, and then I decided that creating a video start to finish and uploading it to whatever level was way better than thinking about the perfect video that I will never shoot. It may not be great, or maybe it is, I don't know, let me know in the comments. It may get 3 views, but it's done, and I'm very happy with it. It's a very liberating feeling, and the only thing that changed was the fact that I started thinking that done was better than perfect. By the way, I know that there is a slightly different version of this principle that says that good is better than perfect. But while I understand the underlying principle, which is still very good, I think that aiming for good presents the same problems as aiming for perfect. Because how do you decide when good is good enough? That's why I prefer to aim at getting it done. Of course, there is no guarantee that your results will be good. They may be perfect, they may be good, they may be terrible. But I do believe that unless you're really cutting corners, unless you're really under time pressure and you can be bothered, if you decide to do something, you will naturally do it to a decent level. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. We've been talking about how done is better than perfect. And that relates to the end of a project when you see the results. But what about the beginnings? How do you even get started? Many of the things that we want to do in life are big and complex. Some of them may span years. They may actually look daunting. So how do we get started? This is exactly what this principle tells us about. Even the longest journey is made of a sequence of steps, and your focus should be on the next step. Of course, you should have a general sense of direction, because if one step at a time you fall off a cliff, then clearly you need to change direction. But in the absence of obvious obstacles along the way, you should just focus on the next step. Don't think too far ahead in the future, just focus on what you're going to do now, this immediate next step. If you embrace this approach, even the most daunting project, the one that feels impossible, will simply transform into a sequence of steps which are small enough to be achievable and doable. You just focus on the next one, and with this approach you can start and complete even the longest journey. Now, let's move on to the third principle, which is definitely the cheesiest. I think our cheesometer will go out of scale here. The third principle is to smile. I told you it was cheesy, but let me explain. I don't mean that you need to go around smiling like an idiot with a face paralysis. I want to keep it very practical, and in fact, let's stop even thinking about smiling. Let's think about the opposite for a second. Do you know those situations when maybe you're driving your car and another driver does something very aggressive or nasty or dangerous towards you? Maybe they cut you off or invade your lane. Did you notice how quickly you absorb the same aggressiveness? And maybe at the next crossing, it will be you doing something aggressive towards another driver. That is because negative behaviors spur negative behaviors. But the opposite is also true. Positive behaviors generate positive behaviors. Going back to the car example, if you smile to someone while you're driving, if you stop to let them cross the street in front of you, chances are they will absorb that nice gesture and they will propagate the same nice gesture to someone else down the line. A smile, a little compliment, a nice gesture, they don't cost you anything. But their positive effects can propagate from person to person in a sort of a chain reaction. As far as you know, your little smile could travel from person to person and reach someone who's having a really bad day. And it could give them hope and positivity, confidence. I mean, it's far-fetched, right? But your little smile could end up saving someone's life. I don't know, but I truly believe that you can change the world one smile at a time. Anyway, there is another very interesting thing about smiling. You know that our brains are connected to our bodies. Normally, the brain decides what the body does. When you're relaxed, you smile more. Pretty natural thing. It is our brain telling the body, we feel well, we're relaxed, so smile. However, these messages can also travel in the opposite direction. The brain will pick up signals from the body, and you can use that to your own advantage to make your brain think that you're relaxed. How do you do that? By smiling. The brain will pick up the signal coming from the body, which is that you're smiling, and it will kind of think, hey, we are smiling, so we must be relaxed. And it puts itself in a positive mood. The other important thing about smiling, in this case when someone else smiles at you, maybe in response to one of your nice gestures, is that your brain will pick up that smile, will pick up that positive vibe, and will make you feel more relaxed, more positive, and happier. Now, how is all of this connected to being productive? It's a good question. And the answer is that when you are in a positive mood, everything becomes easier. Obstacles are easier to overcome, problems are easier to solve, and your productivity will increase. So if you follow these three principles, in very practical terms, you will find yourself starting more projects one step at a time, completing more projects to a great degree of satisfaction, and you do all of this with a happy smile on your face. If you live by these three very simple principles, I believe your life will become more productive and definitely happier. But if you are interested in the concept of productivity and you're wondering, what is productivity anyway? Have a look at this video where we discuss exactly that. For now though, thank you very much for watching and see you soon.